Most men live small, not because the world denies them power, but because they deny themselves the courage to take it. Today, I will solve a problem that shackles billions, timid hearts, weak wills, and the disease of hesitation. If you have ever felt overlooked, ignored, or powerless, this video will cure you, but beware. What you gain is dangerous, for others, and perhaps for yourself. Listen carefully, for what I am about to reveal cuts deeper than comfort allows. The greatest prison in this world is not built of stone, nor guarded by iron gates. It is invisible, yet stronger than chains. It is the prison of timidity, the disease of hesitation, the silent poison of a man who lives craving approval and fearing rejection. Most men carry this disease inside them, and it rots their spirit long before their body dies. And if you have ever wondered why you feel ignored, overlooked, or powerless, it is because of this sickness. The timid man, when he enters a room, already asks himself, "What do they think of me?" He does not speak with the weight of his own voice, but with the borrowed echo of others' expectations. His shoulders bend, his tone trembles, his eyes search for permission, and what happens? The world, like a predator, senses his weakness. They dismiss him, they cut his words short. They treat him as decoration, not as force. He could have brilliance in his mind, yet no one listens. Why? Because the weak do not command attention, they beg for it. You may think the problem is external, that the world is cruel, that others are blind, but no, the problem lies within. Men fail not because their ideas lack strength, but because their presence lacks conviction. And the cruel truth is this: it does not matter if you are right, if you are skilled, if you are intelligent. What matters is if you appear certain, decisive, unshakable. Men follow confidence more eagerly than competence, because confidence is power made visible. The weak man hides his strength behind hesitation, and so his strength dies unborn. Consider how the masses behave. They seek approval like beggars stretch their hands for coins. They wait for applause before they dare to act, and when criticism comes, they crumble as if struck by a sword. They believe they are humble, but in truth, they are slaves. Approval has become their master, rejection their executioner. Tell me, what freedom is there in a life lived by the chains of other people's opinions? None. And yet, billions live this way, smiling politely as they are devoured by their own fear of being disliked. This is the problem you face, perhaps even now as you listen. You hesitate to speak your mind for fear of judgment. You silence yourself when your blood urges you to act, for fear of failure. You obey rules not because they are just, but because you are afraid of being cast out. You trade away your fire for safety, your courage for comfort, and your authority for acceptance. And what is the result? You live as a shadow, not as a presence. Others rise while you remain seated. Others command while you obey. Others dare while you daydream. And every day that passes, your hesitation steals another piece of your life. Do not think this weakness goes unnoticed. The world is merciless in its perception. A man who hesitates even for a second is seen as unworthy of leadership. A man who looks for permission is treated as a child, not an equal. The strong instinctively dominate the timid. They talk over you. They dismiss your contributions. They manipulate you. Why? Because in the arena of life, the lion does not ask the sheep for approval. He takes his place by force of presence. And so long as you remain hesitant, so long as you tremble before the gaze of others, you will always be treated as prey. But here lies the true danger. Hesitation is not just a momentary weakness. It is a habit, and habits become fate. The more you hesitate, the more it becomes who you are. It seeps into your bones, your blood, your very identity. Soon, you are no longer a man who occasionally lacks confidence. Become the timid one, the one who never risks, never dares, never commands. And once the world knows you as such, it brands you permanently. From then on, no matter what you achieve, no matter how much you improve, the shadow of your timidity will follow you. For reputation, once stained, clings more tightly than flesh. And understand this, people are not kind to the timid. They do not protect the weak-hearted. They exploit them. The manipulator smiles to your face, but inside, he rejoices at how easily you are controlled. Your fear of rejection becomes the very tool he uses against you. Your need for approval becomes his leash. He does not need to fight you. He simply dangles the possibility of disapproval, and you obey. You become a servant not by force, but by your own trembling desire to please. This is the disease we are here to expose, the hidden plague that cripples more men than poverty or misfortune ever could. It is not your lack of opportunity, it is not the cruelty of others, it is not fate conspiring against you. It is the timidity you carry, the weakness of seeking approval, the hesitation that has stolen your tongue and shackled your will. And until you understand this problem in its fullness, you will never rise above it. For no man can conquer an enemy he refuses to see. Confidence, my friend, is the illusion that bends the will of others. It is not always truth, it is not always skill, but it is always power. The timid believe that confidence is a gift given at birth, that some men are simply born bold, while others are cursed with trembling hands. They are wrong. Confidence, in the Machiavellian sense, is not a matter of nature. It is a matter of strategy. It is crafted, sharpened, and wielded like a blade. And when used well, it makes you appear invincible, even when doubt still whispers in the shadows of your mind. Understand this. Men do not see into your heart. They do not read the chaos in your thoughts. They only see what you choose to show them. They see the way you move, the way you speak, the way you hold silence. If you present yourself with hesitation, the world assumes you are weak. If you present yourself with certainty, the world assumes you are strong. Perception is reality, and confidence is nothing more than the mastery of perception. Machiavelli himself knew that rulers did not need to be virtuous, only to appear virtuous. In the same way, you do not need to be fearless to move through life as though you are. You only need to appear fearless. The illusion is enough, for men follow the image of strength more than strength itself, and they are drawn to certainty more than truth. This is why the confident man, even when wrong, will command more loyalty than the timid man who is right. Think of the generals of history. Some led armies into battles they were not sure they could win. Their minds doubted, their hearts raced, but their soldiers never knew. They walked among their men with calm authority. They spoke as if victory were inevitable, and their armies followed without hesitation. Confidence, even when manufactured, became the weapon that transformed men's doubts into obedience. And so it is with you. In your daily battles, your victories depend less on what you truly feel and more on what you project. This secret, then, is to cloak your doubt. Everyone feels uncertainty, but the Machiavellian mind does not show it. He knows that once others sense hesitation, they circle like wolves ready to devour. Therefore, you must become an actor upon the stage of life. You play the role of the decisive one, the unshakable one, the man who cannot be rattled. And the longer you play this role, the more it becomes reality, until even your own doubts begin to wither in the face of your performance. True Machiavellian confidence is not arrogance. Arrogance is reckless, blind, and often self-destructive. The arrogant man believes he cannot fail, and so he walks carelessly into traps. The confident man, however, knows he can fail, yet he carries himself as if he cannot. This distinction is crucial. One is a fool intoxicated by pride. The other is a strategist who manipulates perception. The arrogant man falls because of his delusion. The confident man rises because of his control. To be dangerously confident is to master balance. Inside you may prepare, you may calculate, you may even tremble, but outside you reveal none of this. You show the world a mask of certainty so strong that even your enemies hesitate to test it. They see no weakness to exploit, no doubt to manipulate, and because they believe you are unshakable, they often surrender without a fight. This is the essence of Machiavellian power. The mind commands not by force alone, but by the appearance of being unbreakable. Think of how this plays out in the smallest interactions. A timid man enters a negotiation with truth on his side, yet his voice cracks, his words spill too quickly, and his eyes dart nervously. He may have every fact in his favor, yet he will lose because he appears uncertain. Another man enters with half the facts but twice the confidence. He speaks with deliberate tone, his pauses command silence, his gaze is steady. He will win not because he knows more, but because he convinces others that he cannot be shaken. Confidence is the weapon that makes people doubt themselves instead of doubting you. The beauty of this weapon is that it grows stronger with use. Each time you cloak your fear and walk as if you are certain, you train yourself. You train your voice to sound steady, you train your body to move deliberately, you train your mind to remain calm under scrutiny. Soon the act becomes reality. What began as a performance hardens into truth. You cease to simply play the role, you become the role, and when that happens, your presence alone is enough to silence rooms and sway minds. This is the foundation of Machiavellian confidence, the mastery of perception, the discipline of control, the art of appearing stronger than you feel. The timid will never understand it. They believe they must first feel confident before they act. But you, if you are wise, will act confident before you feel it. And in time you will find that the feeling follows the action, not the other way around. The world bends not to those who wait for courage, but to those who project it, whether they possess it or not. Confidence without tools is like a sword without a hand to wield it. To make your presence dangerous, to turn your very existence into an instrument of power, you must arm yourself with the tools that transform ordinary men into figures of authority. These are not toys for the timid. They are weapons for those who would command, who would stand above, who would move through the world as if they were born to rule. If you wish to walk as a lion among sheep, then you must master these tools with precision. The first tool is your body. Men believe words are what persuade, but they are wrong. Long before you speak, your body speaks for you. Stand straight, but not rigid, as if the earth itself supports you. Move slowly, deliberately, never in frantic gestures. The man who rushes seems desperate. The man who trembles seems weak, but the man who controls his movements appears unshakable. When you enter a room, do not collapse into the background. Take your space as though it belongs to you, because the timid will always surrender it. Even silence, when combined with commanding posture, becomes a weapon. People will sense presence before they hear words, and presence alone is enough to bend attention. The second tool is your voice. Weak men spill words as if they fear silence. They explain too much. They stumble over themselves. They beg to be understood. But the man of dangerous confidence does not waste breath. He speaks less, but each word lands with weight. When you speak, slow your pace. Let pauses stretch, for silence unsettles the timid and forces them to lean into your words. Lower your tone, not into a whisper, but into calm authority. A steady voice carries more power than one that tries too hard to sound fierce. Do not rush to fill silence. Allow others to drown in it. In their discomfort, they reveal weakness, while your restraint radiates control. The third tool is the art of observation. Most men speak before they listen. They are desperate to be heard, desperate to prove themselves, desperate to win attention, and in their desperation, they expose themselves. But the Machiavellian mind knows that power lies in seeing what others do not. Watch their movements, study their hesitations, listen to what they do not say. When you understand what others fear, you can use it. When you recognize what they desire, you can manipulate it. And while they waste energy trying to impress you, you remain silent, calculating, commanding. Confidence grows not only from how you present yourself, but from how well you read the weaknesses of those around you. The fourth tool is control of perception. You must understand that truth is secondary to appearance. A man may be brilliant, yet if he appears uncertain, no one follows him. A man may know little, yet if he appears certain, others bend to his will. So cultivate the appearance of certainty. Never let others glimpse your doubt. Keep your plans close. Reveal only what benefits you, and let mystery surround the rest. Mystery, after all, is itself a tool. People fear what they cannot predict. They respect what they cannot fully grasp. By showing only fragments of yourself, you create an aura that others cannot easily penetrate, and in that uncertainty, they submit. The fifth tool is the weaponization of restraint. Weak men rush to prove themselves. They argue endlessly. They try to dominate by volume. They seek validation in every interaction. But the dangerously confident man does not need validation. He does not reveal everything at once. He does not rise to every challenge. He does not show desperation. He withholds. He lets others wonder what he is truly capable of. By holding back, by refusing to waste energy, he creates the impression that he possesses more than he reveals. And in that impression lies power. People fear not what they see clearly, but what they suspect lies hidden. The sixth tool is the ability to turn doubt into a weapon. Most men are slaves to their own hesitation, but the confident man knows how to reflect doubt onto others. If someone questions you, do not defend yourself endlessly. Defending yourself makes you look weak. Instead, turn the question back upon them, make them second, guess their own position, appear calm as if their challenge is beneath you. When you remain composed while others grow emotional, you plant uncertainty in their minds. Soon, they no longer doubt you. They doubt themselves. And when a man doubts himself, he is already defeated. The seventh tool is mastery of timing. Confidence is not only about what you do, but when you do it. The weak rush because they fear opportunity will vanish. The strong wait, and in waiting, they create tension. If you respond immediately to every demand, you seem desperate. If you delay, if you make others wait for your words, your presence becomes more valuable. Time itself becomes your servant. Those who rush to please lose authority. Those who control the pace of interaction claim it. Learn to act not when others demand it, but when it benefits you most. These tools are not tricks for fleeting moments. They are disciplines for a lifetime. Use your body to command presence, your voice to shape perception, your silence to unsettle, your restraint to build mystery, your timing to dictate the rhythm of interaction. Observe others until their weaknesses are clear, then turn their doubts against them. In this way, confidence ceases to be a mere feeling. It becomes a weapon you wield, an armor you wear, a throne upon which you sit, while the timid bow their heads in your shadow. Now you see what the timid never will. The disease of hesitation, the poison of seeking approval, the weakness of trembling before others. It chains men to lives of quiet obedience. But when you grasp the essence of dangerous confidence, when you wield it with the precision of a weapon, the world changes shape around you. Perception bends to your presence, respect gathers at your feet, influence flows not because you beg for it, but because you command it. Understand this, you do not need to be fearless to appear unshakable, nor do you need to be all-knowing to be obeyed. You only need to master the tools of presence, the discipline of silence, the weapon of certainty. Men do not follow truth, they follow strength. They do not admire hesitation. They admire the mask of invincibility. The one who dares to stand without trembling becomes the one the masses cannot ignore. So choose carefully how you carry yourself, for every step you take, every word you speak, every pause you command, teaches the world how to treat you. If you project weakness, they will consume you. If you project strength, they will kneel before you. Dangerous confidence is not arrogance, it is not blindness. It is the deliberate art of ruling perception until even your enemies hesitate to test you. Walk as though the earth belongs to you. Speak as though silence waits for your command. Look into the eyes of men as though you already know their secrets. In time, you will discover that what begins as performance becomes reality, and what begins as illusion becomes power. This is how sheep become lions. This is how the overlooked become feared. This is how the forgotten become unforgettable.